Hi guys, and welcome back to EasyPy 3. In this lesson we'll be looking at another type of loop called the for loop. This is used to iterate over a sequence, which basically means you repeat over a sequence a number of times. The for loop can be used with different data types, but for this section we'll be looking at strings. Let me give you an example to make it easier to understand. Imagine if I said to you, for the letters in the name Adam, write out the letters. You would write A, D, A, M, as that is the sequence of the letters. Straightforward, right? Well, the for loop in Python works in a similar way. Let's look at the following code. There are a few new things, so let's go through it. Firstly, we have the for keyword, followed by a variable. I've called it letters, but it can be named anything. Note that there is no condition in a for loop. That is set internally. After that, we have another keyword, the in operator, and we'll speak about this operator in the next section. Finally, we have our sequence, in this case, the string Adam. The control variable gets its value from the sequence using the in keyword. Let's go ahead and run that in Python and you'll see what I mean when we look at the result. As you can see, it prints out all the letters in Adam. A thing to note is that we can replace Adam with a variable. Let's call it name and assign Adam to it. We get the same result. The controlled variable's letters looped through the sequence till it reached the end. Another thing to note is that just like the while loop, the for loop also have a rarely used else branch, which also always runs else, like you can see. And it has the same exception of break statement. The loop breaks when it gets to the lowercase a, and as you just saw, we can also nest the if statements inside it too. It also has the same continue statement. It stops at lowercase a and then starts again with the next in sequence, in this case m. Now the for loop can also be used with the range function. Range is an inbuilt function. It generates a sequence of integers, so only takes integers as its argument. We can use the range function with the for loop to go through a set of instructions for a specified number of times. For example, if we write for numbers in range 6, print loop and then comma control variable numbers. Now it prints loop 6 times in an increment of 1. Notice it starts at 0. Well, we can change that by adding another argument into the range function. The first argument is now the start value and the second is the stop value. So if I now go ahead and add 1 and run that again, this time it prints 5 times starting with 1 as the range was from 1 to 6 now. Okay, what if we do a range between 6 and 1? We get nothing. That's because the default setting of range is an increment of 1. If we want to change the increment, we will need to add the final argument step. Now if I go ahead and add -2 as the last argument in the range function, this time we get numbers going down by 2. The final thing I want to show you with the range function is that the numbers inside can be variables as long as they're integers. And that's all guys, we've covered the concept of for loops. Up next we have a project with a for loop so you can have an even better understanding.